cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Excuse me. I was asked a great question yesterday, and I'm glad the question was asked because, having lived the life that I lived for as long as I lived it, there are terms or certain terminology that is basically second nature. And I forget that you guys don't understand every single word, the definition of things. And you may have a slight understanding, but not a full understanding of what I'm saying when it comes to the prison and street stuff, street lingo, verbiage, whatever you want to call it. Well, someone asked me yesterday. They said, "I've heard you use the term professionalism several times in your video when talking about conducting yourself in prison." And the person commenting says, I really don't understand what that means. And they also said, "You've also used the word career." And again, they don't understand. And you have to understand this. Well, so we'll start with career. Uh, when guys get into criminality, gang banging, whatever it is, that's the career you have chosen. Maybe that's a better way for you to understand it. But that's the career you have chosen. The career you have chosen is criminality. You have chosen a career in criminality. Some may say they have chosen a career in gangsterism. Whatever it is you choose to say, but that becomes your career. That's why they don't have a regular 9 to 5. Guys that choose it as their career are the guys that usually wind up with a life sentence, or they're doing life on the installment plan, meaning they're always in and out, in and out, in and out. Every time they get out knowing they're going right back. So they're not really caught up in the 9 to 5 and being responsible in under society's laws and rules. Now, as far as professionalism, professionalism can be identified in any faction, whether it's Crips, Bloods, Kumis, Northern Raza, Southern Raza, others, whites, whoever, anybody behind the walls. There are people that you can look at, you can talk to for a couple minutes, and you understand this person conducts themselves with professionalism. And now, I can't speak for any other faction, right? But when it comes to the raza, here's the thing. The raza are under something, whether they like it or not, whether they want to participate in those reindeer games, they still are representing something bigger than themselves, bigger than their barrio. And in all actuality, they, as an individual, don't matter. Their barrio doesn't matter. The whole is what matters. What you can contribute to the whole matters, but every individual should have an understanding that they are expendable. And it's a good way to live in there to understand that you are expendable, because as soon as you start thinking you're bigger than who you are, usually somebody will come and, or reality will come and set you straight. So as far as the raza, now there's always exceptions to the rule. But for the raza, here's the thing. Especially when you get into the higher levels, level 4, 180, level 4, 270, any level 4, right? You will not reflect poorly on whatever faction you're from. In appearance, in speech, in interacting, not just with your own, but with others. Because as a part of that faction, how you interact with others could bring us, or could bring everyone into some shit. So you're expected to speak professionally, respectfully, humbly, how you dress, your physical appearance. You are not gonna have your hair dirty. You're not gonna have your hair come out to the yard with your hair all messed up. Most of the time, if you're from Southern California, you won't even have hair. And that went back to like when I first went in. I had thick hair going back, and it was probably 95% of the raza from Southern California had shaved heads. And the reason why is because in their mind, it's a thing that's instilled in them. Always be ready, always be prepared. When you go to the oil, when you go to the hole, it used to be you weren't going to be able to get to the yard or some clippers for 10 days. So you didn't want to be that dude that you had hair and then you're an ad seg and for 10 days you can't trim your hair, cut your hair, whatever, and then you got that funny looking haircut. You don't want to be looking like that. Now people would understand, like, yeah, he just got here, he hasn't gotten to the gotten to the cage yet, or back then the group yard to cut his hair. And so the raza, for the most part, always bick their hair every day, every other day. You bicked your head with a razor so that when you went to the oil, when you went to ad seg, when you went to the hole, you got back there, them 10 days, your hair grew about what? That much. By the time you get out there, boom, done. 10 minutes, your head's shaved again. You know what I mean? So um, you're not gonna have your clothing is not gonna be disheveled. You're not gonna have like you're gonna present yourself, you're gonna be presentable every time you exit your cell. And even in your cell is gonna be spotless. Your sink is gonna be shiny. Your toilet, every time you use that damn toilet, you're scrubbing it before you use it and after. You ain't gonna be farting in the cell when your celly's eating. You're not gonna be taking a dump. You're not gonna be using the bathroom, period, when your celly's eating. Like the way you conduct yourself, people are gonna know, okay, that's a convict right there. I told a story. I had a celly, guy, the worst celly I ever had in my whole 24 years in prison. Worst celly I ever had. First time I met him. This is in Pelican Bay. Dude had his beanie all messed up on his head, and what happened is he tried to shave his head, cut his head all up. He took his beanie off. I was like, damn, Holmes, hey, put that beanie back. But he had his pants, the bottom would hang. What happened was he was one of those cats that went from a level 1 up to a level 4 for a bunch of petty bullshit write-ups. And he was a fish out of water, completely out of his element. And that was on B facility in Pelican Bay. And that was a place where you just did not want the spotlight on you. If you had the spotlight on you, it better be for something good. Because if people start noticing, like, "Hey, who's that, eh?" It's not a good thing. And that's what happened to him. Luckily for him, unfortunately for everyone else, but luckily for him, the riot wound up happening not long after he got there. So the attention was on other things, more important, more pressing things. But like I said, I met him later, and I ran across him later again in the shoe. He was validated, and they had thrown him off into a section where there was no Southerners. And I'm talking about the legends. There was 3 legends in that building. They moved him over to a section where there was no Southerners. It's unheard of for there to be any pod in Pelican Bay shoe where there's no Southerners. They found one for him and they threw him over there because nobody could stand him. I think that validation saved his life, probably. But anyway, so hopefully that gives you a better understanding of what professionalism is in there. And like I said, it's in every faction. Um, it doesn't matter what group it is. You can tell who's a professional. It's like this. Another example that may help you understand. A gangbanger and a gangster are completely different things by the crimes they'll commit, by how they'll conduct the crime. A gangbanger is out there just wild. He sees what's in front of him. He's a he's attracted to the fast things, the easy things. A gangster is slick. You know he's a killer. You don't talk about it. You'll never find a gangster on Instagram. Never. You will never find a gangster bragging about what they do. They don't even want you to know what they do. They're professional. So I don't know. Hopefully that helped you guys out. Those of you that needed an understanding. If not, I kind of don't know what else I can tell you. But I like the question. Um, they say judge a man by his questions, not his answers. Someone who's questioning and they're great questions, that's a mind really at work, seeking to learn, seeking knowledge. So whoever asked that, and I'm sure other people were wondering, there you go. And hopefully when I tell stories in the future or other content creators in this genre tell stories, now you have a better understanding. Uh, I will end with this. In my opinion, in my personal experience, every real gangster I ever met, they're the most humble and respectful and won't think twice of killing you because they're dealing with a bigger picture. They will, a lot of them, give you the shirt off their back, not expect anything in return other than respect, loyalty. So that's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, do me a favor, share it with someone else who you think would enjoy it. Leave a comment, hit the like if you feel like it. Let's get back to I stopped doing it. Let's get back. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes on this video. I appreciate you guys. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right?